This is the Jumpak Pro 3-foot kicker ramp, and I just set it up in about 15 seconds out of this backpack. Looking back to when I was a kid and I used to ride street on my BMX bike, this would have been awesome because you can just take it wherever you want and set it up. I had this sitting around my house for a long time and I never took it out of the box. I just figured it was another ramp. But it turns out this could be something I could use a lot. Now, if you look on their website, people are using these in all sorts of creative ways. If you know someplace where there's a transition downward, you can set this up and use it as a landing. But mostly, I think it's a really fun ramp with a mean transition that really boosts you up in the air. It's a kicker. The construction is something that I'm not sure how I feel about. I was amazed that it has these gas lifts and how lightweight it is. And when I'm riding it, it feels really, really sturdy. But it's made out of plastic. I just can't believe something that comes apart so easily and goes back together so easily is so strong. And unless I used it long term, I couldn't tell you how durable it is. I can't say I'm not just a little bit concerned about the clasps that hold the ramp together. They just seem small and flimsy, but I suppose if you put it together the right way, there's nothing really putting pressure on them. The other thing I'm not sure about is the price. This is close to $300, and I know that you can get small kicker ramps for a lot less money. But for what it is in this form factor, it might be worth it. It would be a great gift. If I would have gotten a gift like this when I was a kid, I would have flipped out. I would have been using it constantly, and I definitely would have broken it because I would have put that many miles on it. This ramp is awesome, and I'm gonna keep using it, and if I do break it, I'm gonna buy another one. This might be the handlebar tool to end all handlebar multi-tools. I normally don't really like these that much because they rattle inside the handlebar and then there's all sorts of little bits that you can lose. This seems to have solved most of it. So first of all, it sort of locks into your handlebar with this lever that expands it. You pull the lever and now it slides out fairly easily. And then yes, it has bits, but the bits are really held into place magnetically and there's not that many of them. Like on my dirt jump bike, I would need a I would only need a 5mm, and so I would just leave this set up with it. Now you can see they have little bits stored in the side here, and I would get this set up the way I want, which is with a 5. This one's locking. Boop. Pops out, and now I have a nice right angle 5mm for adjusting my stem, adjusting my seat post, whatever. If you need a really involved multi-tool that has a chain breaker and everything like that, this is not gonna be for you. But to keep something really small inside your handlebar that you can always access, pretty cool. And I bet it's gonna cost a lot. Yeah, $90, and then you have to pay $35 for this little piece that goes in the handlebar, so about $125. That's gonna be a tough sell for a lot of people. Now, one of the big selling points that they tout is how lightweight it is. I think anything that fits in your handlebars is gonna be pretty lightweight, give or take a few grams, but their main market is bike packers, and sometimes they do obsess over a few grams because it adds up. One of the things they tout here is being able to customize the tool to carry only the bits that you need. You can actually combine them so that one side of the bit is a T25 and the other side is a 5mm. You can actually separate them apart. And so this is for people who really like to drill down with customization and are saving every single gram, and they want everything that they're bringing with them to be only for that bike. I don't know if this is going to be for everyone. Being that I have one, I am definitely keeping this on my dirt jump bike. I am definitely going to use it. I'm definitely going to enjoy it. I don't expect it to break. It's built very well. Great product, but man, things are getting really, really expensive, and so I don't think this is going to be for everyone. This is a mountain bike specific bell. Let me show you what that even means. Right, a bell for mountain biking. Why would you even need that? And what makes this good for mountain biking? Well, actually, this is quite brilliant. When you're riding, and riding a mountain bike involves holding onto both handlebars because you're riding over stuff, it just rings from the natural movement of the bike. And then when you don't want it to ring, you can lock it and it only rings a little bit. Yeah, when you're passing somebody on the trail or there's a hiker up ahead, it's kind of nice for a gentle ringing to keep getting louder and louder as it gets close to them and you not have to physically do anything. A normal bell would just be ringing all the time just from the bumping. This has a lock on it. But as I showed you, if you go hard enough, It does make a little bit of ringing noise, and I would say for a lot of people that's not going to be too much of a problem. I've been riding around with this and I don't really hear it unless I'm coming down off a drop or hitting a jump or something like that. Pretty well built, pretty nice, definitely good for kids and definitely good for cross-country riding or riding on multi-use trails. I would say this is something that I would keep on my bike 100% of the time if it wasn't for that little ringing sound that it makes even when it's locked. Let me go downhill a little bit over here and see how bad it really is. Okay, we'll unlock it. We're just pedaling uphill now. This could also warn wildlife, bears, hikers, toddlers, anybody that might be on the trail. Just lets them know you're coming. It is a pleasant little sound. Okay, so let's turn around over here and lock it. So you can see it's locked. I'm pedaling up the trail. It's not making any noise whatsoever. But let's cream these rocks and see if that changes. Okay. Okay, I barely hear it. Can you? I don't know if that's enough to annoy me. Now, one area that I have to give this product a compliment is that it doesn't cost a lot of money. It's $30. For a premium bell, that's fair. I've seen lots of bells that just ring when you hit the little button and they cost more than that. And in this day and age, $30 is the new $19.99. The only thing that I would really like to see it have is a way to manually ring the bell, because if I'm in the road and it's not rattling around, I don't know, you can kind of flip it on, it sort of dings, but it's not that loud. I don't know, it's definitely just for mountain biking, clever product. I've definitely never seen anything like this. Good job. This is the Kommit toe strap. This is a super clever product that's easy to carry around, to tow your kids, of course. Anybody that's ridden with a little kid knows they get tired and you have to pull them along or carry their bike. This gives you a way to quickly attach it to their handlebars, tow it with your hand, or attach it to your bike and just tow them behind you. Very nice to have. I always carry a tow strap with me. This is a lot smaller and they give you a lot of different ways to attach it to the bike. No way is off limits. You can attach the main body to your kid's bicycle stem, so you can grab this lanyard and tow them anytime you want, or you could put the main body under your seat so you could hook it up to your kid's stem anytime you want at a moment's notice. It's very solid, doesn't rattle around, designed in Germany, but there are other products kind of like it. I believe even Zafal has a retractable tow hook. What does this thing cost again? Yeah, this is anywhere from $80 to $100 depending on where you get it from. I mean, I don't think we're getting used to things being as expensive as they are. It's just insane now. That's a lot of money for a retractable tow strap, or any tow strap for that matter. It's worth noting this is pretty strong. It can tow an adult with a broken drivetrain. It's not just for kids, but it's going to be for somebody who uses their tow strap a lot and they just need the very, very, very best and they want it to be compact. You got to buy the kid a bike. You got to buy your other kid a bike. You got to buy them helmets, another $80, $90. It just starts to add up. And so there's going to be a limited market for this, but I'm definitely going to be using it. It's definitely the best tow strap I've ever used. I love the fact that I can just bring it with me all the time and not worry about it. And I love the fact that it's easy to hook up and retracts. So one thing I receive often but almost never review, fanny packs. It's because I don't really use them that often, and I don't know, I get a million of them. What am I gonna tell you that's interesting about a fanny pack? Well, this one is very nicely designed. It's got bottle holders and everything on the left and right. Still wouldn't review it if it weren't for this. They make little ones for your kids, and they're actually very well designed. This is purple, and so my daughter is going to be wearing it every single day. They call this the Snack Sling Hip Pack, and it is actually designed for kids. Very easy to use. Has these little lanyards that you can pull on, and then they're magnetically opening and closing and staying shut. It is insulated on the inside. You can see it's designed in Utah. You leave this thing out in the sun with some snacks in it, they're not necessarily going to melt, and it appears they preloaded it with some organic-y, bougie chicken maple mini sticks. Far cry from a Slim Jim. Now this is extremely high quality. Everything's really nice. It's a small company. How much you want to bet these are like $600 a piece? And then I'll stop saying good things about it. Okay. $65. Do you need to spend $65 on a hip pack for your kid to carry snacks? No, but that's a pretty fair price for something like this, especially seeing that it comes from a small company and it's not just a throwaway item. One kid could wear this and they could pass it down to the next kid and so on. This is the kind of thing that's gonna get a little shredder very excited about mountain biking, going out and being independent, carrying their own snacks. Very cool, very good quality, and honestly, the price is not crazy. God knows how old this is. I think it was sitting in a products bin since 2019. Okay, I have something else in my pack here. This little pack is actually starting to grow on me. Bleequp smart glasses, designed for mountain biking. Didn't we already review these? Yes, and I gave them a bad review. These are the new ones. Let's see if they do any better. First of all, let's recap. Why did I give the last ones a pretty bad review? Well, they had these sports glasses and they show people mountain biking on the website, and then all the photos are doctored. They obviously didn't come from the camera. Strike one. Then I took it on a ride and it was just terrible. The whole experience was terrible. There was this external battery that like boosts the range, and they were just disconnecting and connecting from it, and it kept playing this message in my ear. Charging in. Oh, the entire time I'm using these, they're yelling at me, charging ends. Oh, that's a deal breaker, but the worst part, it didn't really have an immersive field of view. If you're gonna have an action camera, you're talking about 156, 157 degrees field of view. These were like, I don't know, 100 or 120 or something like that. Nowhere near wide enough. And so they didn't have a good field of view. They were annoying. They're just everything that I would hate in a product like this. But if they work, if these new ones solved all the problems, which they tell me they did, it'd be kind of great. Action cameras can be a pain. Put these on and boom, you're capturing immersive video. That would be pretty cool. Any bets? Powering on. Yes, it says powering on. It's playing music. Sound quality is okay, not as good as the Ray-Bans. How do I stop the music? Okay, that stopped the music. Is it recording? Is that start recording or stop recording? Okay, it looks like there's a blinky light in my eye. I think it's recording right now. I think it stopped recording. Okay. All right, without gloves, I think I could manage this. You hold this down. White light over here is flashing. That means they're recording. Just to give you a frame of reference, we have a little action camera going up here. And now, switch to the glasses. They do stay on well. And again, the lenses are great. Like, I actually don't mind riding with these, but the question is the video any better? Okay, let's see how these did. Okay, the Bleequp app, which I think I mentioned last time, is better than the GoPro app, but please be good. Ooh, so far this doesn't seem so good. No, it only works if you hold your phone right up. Okay, weird stabilization artifacts, not wide enough, can't see my handlebars. Why would they tell me these are an improvement and then send me the same exact thing? In the last video, somebody in my comments made fun of me for holding my phone vertically on a horizontal. It doesn't turn. Okay, doesn't make the annoying message. Overall, the experience is a lot smoother, connects faster. Like, these are definitely more refined. But this is the same field of view. Yeah. These are a dud again. To me, the price and all that stuff is irrelevant. I think last time we saw these cost about the same as the Ray-Bans. It's out there for the taking. All you need to do is make the same thing as the Ray-Ban Metas, but turn the sensor 90 degrees so it's not just in vertical. Anybody that can make good smart glasses, I will review them and give them a good review. Won't cost you anything. Just do what we've been asking for. Get the field of view right and get it in horizontal. The other night I saw this pop up and I instantly ordered it. I have it right here. Bicycle seat, shock absorber, bicycle seat suspension device suitable for mountain road leisure bicycle shock absorber. It's got 2 stars. $10, how bad could it be? How could you give something 2 stars that's $10? Concept is, bike like this, solid rubber tires, there's not much compliance. It gives the seat a little bit more cushion so that when you're hitting bumps, it absorbs the shock, because this thing is gonna flex. Oh my God. All right, let's give it a test drive. I almost can't even ride the bike. Oh my God. Oh, wow. What can I say? It's awesome. All right, I'm gonna go down this little bump by my front door. Let's see how it works. Oh. So the thing with non-bicycle people is they sit on a bike for 15 minutes and it hurts their butt. If you do it for a few days, it stops hurting your butt. But their solution is, let me just strap gel covers and make the seat as big as possible and put springs in it, and that'll be better. I'm a genius. Nobody's ever thought of that before. Why don't all bikes just have couches for seats? Yeah, and then you get things like this. It moves in every single direction. There's no damping. It just bounces you up and down. I think even if you were just using a bike for leisure and you had your little throttle switch and everything, I don't even think this is better. It's hilarious. It deserves the 2 stars. Yeah, it absorbs the shock at first, but then it just slams into your seat post. So when I go off of that bump over there, it actually feels worse. It's like, boom, like a slide hammer. It's actually working its way off the back. Like, I tightened it down a pretty good amount, but it's actually gonna like fall off the back of this thing. And that will be really, really bad, because then there's just 2 pieces of metal sticking right up into your thing. So how do we rate this product? Does it do what it says? Does it absorb shock? Oh yeah. Price, $9.99. Pretty much unheard of in 2026. The only problem is it makes the bike impossible to ride. Other than that, it's pretty great. This next product's gonna save you some money. I've showed you wheel truing, right? Your wheel is not perfectly straight. You can adjust these spokes. You can adjust the tension and actually straighten out the wheel. Truing stand's gonna cost you like 150, 200 bucks, depending. The T9 wheel toolie, well, I don't remember what this costs. I can't even find it, but it exists. It's a little mini truing stand. Let me show you how it works. Okay, so I've demonstrated actually how you can do this with a zip tie, but this is, I don't know, maybe a more eco-friendly way, not as disposable. How do I strap this to the bike so it will actually point at the wheel? Maybe it's only good for rear wheels. This is gonna go on like this. Yes. And would you look at that? It's a truing stand. Now, I would have lots of criticisms for this product, except that it probably cost like $1.70 or something. Again, I can't figure out where I got it from, but this is actually pretty nice. You can see there's a little pin that gets close to the wheel. You spin it. See, it's rubbing right there, so we would adjust the spoke on the other side. If you're gonna do this with a zip tie, you attach the zip tie to the frame, and then you kind of turn it a little bit. And yeah, you can kind of do the same thing, and it only costs you a zip tie. Of course, you have to clip the zip tie and throw it out afterwards. And so after about 40 zip ties, this would start to pay for itself. Now, honestly, in all seriousness, this is the kind of thing that you could 3D print or even design yourself without that much work, but it's kind of easy to understand, and it's a great way to learn about wheel truing or teach a kid about wheel truing. It's easier to see what you're doing with this than many other solutions. I think it's pretty cool. I just wish I could find a product link for it. I mean, I bought it like a month ago and now it's just gone. And that's the thing with these fly-by-night products. Next, today is one of those days that started out mild and it gets colder and colder and colder throughout the day. I have heated bicycle grips that we're gonna try out, and if they're any good, it's gonna change the game. So they appear to be normal lock-on grips, except there's a USB, just a normal USB and a little power switch over here. It's getting a little too cold out here for me right now. Ooh. It looks like they actually thought of everything. They give you a little holder for your power bank. Okay, they're not heating up very fast. It says it's at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Doesn't feel it. We have these like little hand warmers that we bring with us and stick in our pockets, and those things get hot. These are like not really providing that much comfort. Maybe if I put my hands on them and insulate it, yeah, it feels better than the outside air. Power bank's at 99% now from 100, so it's sucking up some juice. Let's leave these for a few minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, actually, I'm starting to feel the warmth and it feels quite good. I would want these to be way, way, way warmer though. That little USB-A, it just doesn't cut it, honestly, for what these cost. I think they were close to $100. I was thinking this would be a cool thing to use on flip bike, pimp my bike. Like, yo, when we first got your bike, your grips were all raggedy, and now you got heated grips, you know? Like, I thought that would be a good thing, but I feel like I could make heated grips that are better than these. Okay, this has been bothering me. Now I have gloves on, like you would if it was cold out. So now you're holding on to these bars for a long time. Your gloves are holding in the heat, but the grips are actually generating some heat instead of getting onto like cold handlebars. I could see holding the grips for a while like this, it would actually be a plus. Like, it'd be pretty nice, but I want them to be hot. I want to grab onto my grips and be like, ah! I always enjoy checking out some weird and interesting bike products. If you like these videos, I got a whole playlist of them below. And also, if you want to check out some of my products, check the link below as well. I've got a cool tunnel vision sweatshirt that'll keep you a lot warmer than these grips. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.